What's up, guys? Hockey TikToky is back with an all new video. In today's episode of this podcast, I'm talking about the Calgary Flames once again, guys, and their progression through the first quarter of the season. It's been a pleasant surprise watching this team so far this year, guys. I think many people we're not expecting the level of play that we've seen from these guys, specifically in the goaltending department, guys. The Calgary Flames are ranking in some of the best numbers in the entire NHL when it comes to their goaltending tandem. Dan Vladar and Dustin Wolf have been spectacular. And a lot of people, including myself, have been giving praise to the young goaltender Dustin Wolf, and calling for him to be nominated and to win the Calder Memorial Trophy for Rookie of the Year. So that's a huge storyline moving forward for the rest of the year. Hopefully they can keep up these numbers. They're absolutely stunning right now, and they're probably the main factor in what's keeping the Flames afloat right now and keeping them in that playoff race. As of the time of this recording, as of today, guys, the Flames are sitting pretty in a divisional playoff spot, just 1 point back of the Vegas Golden Knights for second in the Pacific Division. Like I said, the goaltending has been a huge surprise for many people. And one thing that was kind of unknown going into the beginning of the season, because both these guys, Vladar and Wolf, they hadn't even really played a full NHL season yet. Obviously, Vladar had a lot more experience, but he never had been considered a starter or even a tandem goalie, which is kind of the system that they're going with this year is tandem, which means that both goalies are getting around equal, they're splitting the starts. So they're getting around the same amount of minutes, around the same amount of starts. In the past, Dan Vladar has been mostly just a backup and never really had a chance to roll with multiple games in a row or multiple games in a short period of time. So coming into the season, the fact that the Flames now have some of the strongest goaltending numbers in the entire league, it's really impressive that we've seen this so far. Another big question mark was the defense. A lot of our top defensemen had moved on from last season. Noah Hanifin, Chris Tanev, and Nikita Zadorov were all in top three D positions at the beginning of last season, and all three of those guys have moved on. So we still have Mackenzie Weegar, we still have Rasmus Andersson, both really strong, very good defensemen, but the rest of the defensive core was all either new and or just sort of not in the not top pairing type guys. So Miramanov joined the Flames last season, and Pahal joined the Flames last season as well. But again, these guys weren't slotted in as top four defensemen, top four guys. Kevin Ball was brand new to the team this year, and he immediately went into a top four role playing with Rasmus Andersson. Miramanov went back on a defensive pairing with Weegar, and they have performed admirably so far this season. None of them are really doing anything to make us feel that our defense is weak or it's not at the same level of some of the top teams in the league. So that's been really impressive. And then finally, we'll talk about the forwards real quick. That's the main concern if you are looking at the Flames team, their construction as of right now, is the forwards have struggled quite a bit this season. I think If you look at all of the top players like Kadri, like Huberdeau, like Backlund, like Coleman, the Cherengovich, most of the top veteran players have not been putting up the stats, have been putting up the numbers that they should be or want to be putting up, at least through this first quarter of the season. And scoring has been very tough to come by for this team, which is the one part of the game that I think most people were expecting to be their strong suit at the beginning of this year. The goaltending was supposed to be suspect, and the defense was supposed to be suspect, and yet it's the forwards who seem to be struggling. The power play has been abysmal, and we don't really have a guy that is a top goal scorer right now. You know, I think our top two goal getters are Coronado and Huberdeau, who both only have like 6 goals so far in the first 20 games of the season. You know, there's other teams who have multiple players already hitting double digits when it comes to goals. So that's a problem for the Calgary Flames. Yet they sit here on November 22nd with a sparkling record and only 1 point back of Vegas Golden Knights. They're in the top third of the league overall for points and even points percentage, if you want to look at it that way there. So if you're a Flames fan right now, guys, if you are watching this team, if you are following along over the last few years of Calgary Flames NHL hockey, you've noticed a pattern, and that pattern is quite evident. It's quite obvious. It's very obvious that when the Flames have expectations at the beginning of the season, it's almost like they play down, and then there's no expectation, when you just expect them to just not be that good or have some problems, it's like they stand up and they're defiant of it. So you can go back as far as, I think it's almost like a 10-year period, literally going all the way back to 2015. That was the first year that the Flames had made the playoffs in quite some time after a slow burn of the old Calgary Flames from the years prior. And it was kind of like a new generation of younger players had started coming up into the Flames organization. They made the playoffs in 2015 when nobody expected them to do that. Then as expectation grew, it's almost like the team started to get worse. And they I think they alternated either making the playoffs or falling out of the playoff race year in and year out, until finally, I think it was by 2019, they had a really good season where they were one of the top teams in the league, top teams in the West for the regular season, and sort of rebuilt themselves as a contender by 2019. And then the very next year, I'm pretty sure they barely made it, or they missed. They lost in the first round to like a lesser team or something like that. Then fell completely out of it, came back for one season to get back into the playoffs and look like a contender again, only to have some of their star players leave the organization, go on, and completely fall out of the race again, to the point where they have been called bottom feeders once again. And that here we are, one quarter away into the season, and the Calgary Flames are sitting pretty in a playoff spot. So that's my rant on what's happened so far at the first quarter mark of the season, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for all the support, guys.